राम 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 सियावर रामचंद्र की जय। सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। ॐ श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरवे नमः। 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 First three verses, 8th chapter. अर्जुन उवाच किं तद्ब्रह्म किमध्यात्मं किं कर्म पुरुषोत्तम अधिभूतं च किं प्रोक्तम् अधिदैवं किमुच्यते अधियज्ञः कथं कोत्र देहेऽस्मिन् मधुसूदन प्रयाणकाले च कथं ज्ञेयोऽसि नियतात्मभिः। श्रीभगवानुवाच अक्षरं ब्रह्म परमं स्वभावोऽध्यात्ममुच्यते भूतभावोद्भवकरः विसर्गः कर्मसन्नितः। 8th chapter is called Akshara Brahma Yoga or Taraka Brahma Yoga. It has 8 questions or 7 questions by Arjuna, and Bhagavan is answering those questions. The seeds for these questions were sown at the end of 7th chapter. Arjuna asks very simple questions. Verse number 1 and 2 are Arjuna's questions. What are his questions? Kim tad Brahma? What is Brahma? Question 1. Kim Adhyatmam? What is called as Adhyatma? Third question is Kim Karma? What is action? O Purushottama, the best amongst all men, please tell me what are these things. Fourth question is Adhibhutam Kim? What is Adhibhuta? Fifth question, Adhidhaivam Kim Uchyate? What is called as Adhidaiva? Sixth question, what is Adhiyajna? And in this body, how should I recognize this Adhiyajna? How does this Adhiyajna stay in this body? So it's one question only. Adhiyajnaha Katham. How should it be recognized? And Kaha. Who is this Adhiyajna? Kaha means who, Katham means how. Atra Dehe Katham. In this body, how does this Adhiyajna reside? Seventh question is the most important question. Prayana Kale Katham Nyeyaha Asi. At the time of departure, how are you to be known by those of concentrated mind? Niyatatma Bihi means those who have spent their life thinking about God and who have single-pointedly thought about God. Niyata Atma. How are you to be known by them? So these were first and second verse. Now third, fourth verse, Bhagavan answers question number 1 to 6. And fifth verse, all the way until 22nd verse, Bhagavan is answering the 7th question. That's why this whole chapter becomes Akshara Brahma Yoga or Taraka Brahma Yoga, means knowing which person will go to better destinations. What is inevitable need not be feared. In the form of dropping this physical body, this person has the right perspective about birth and also about death. That is why this elaboration from 5th verse to 22nd verse. Do you remember there was one verse to be memorized in this? Which one was it? 9th verse. Can you all chant it? Bhagavan says, if you want to think about me, you have to know who am I. So in one verse he summarizes his nature. Kavim Puranam Anushasitaram Anoraniyam Samanusmaredyah Sarvasya Dhataram Achintya Rupam Aditya Varnam Tamasaf Parastat. This verse you have to memorize, every word we have to internalize and come to feel closeness with Bhagavan. In our Saturday meditations, we have been using this verse for our guided meditation sessions. We can do it on our own also. More we are able to reflect on each word. Bhagavan, whom I call by Krishna, Shiva, Rama, he is of this nature. One who is Kavihi means one who is all-knowing. Or just this one word, continuously thinking about what implications it has in my life. When we come to that verse, we will discuss more. Then 23rd, 28th verse, 23rd to 28th verse is journey of an upasaka after death. That is elaborated in these verses. Now Bhagavan said in the 3rd verse, he started answering, Aksharam Brahma Paramam. Arjuna, your first question was, what is Brahma? Brahma is Akshara, that which is imperishable. Under the command of this Akshara alone, this entire universe runs. The 5 elements are doing their work under the command of this Akshara. And no flaw in creation, everything runs systematically. One commentator, he writes, if it's a Sunday, we might wake up late. But sun doesn't wake up late. Perfect timing, everything happens when it has to happen. That is this Akshara. Then we had stopped here. What is Adhyatma? Bhagavan answered just in one word. Swabhavaha Adhyatmam Uchyate. Swabhava is called as Adhyatma. How do we understand the word Swabhava? First, English meaning we have to understand. Wherever there is I notion in this assemblage, that is called as Adhyatma. Wherever there is identification and I notion in this assemblage, that is called as Adhyatma. So how will you open up the word Swabhava? That bhavana of Swa. That bhava of Swa, that is called as Swabhava. Swabhava here doesn't mean characteristic. Swabhava doesn't mean tendency or quality. Swabhava means wherever there is I notion. You see the irony of this. This body is made up of 5 elements. What is this harmonium made up of? Same 5 elements. I say this is my body, or I am this body, and what do I tell about this harmonium? This is my harmonium. So there is I-ness going with body, and mine-ness going with everything which is outside body. So which will you call as Adhyatma, harmonium or body? Body. Why do I call it as Adhyatma? I notion is there. Somebody else's body, perfectly I can call it as matter. Because I notion is not there. For that person, that is his Adhyatma. For me, this will be my Adhyatma. Now look at the BMI chart. All of you are familiar with the words, right? In this, can we all tell the words loudly? Om, Vasana, body, mind, intellect, perceiver, feeler, thinker, objects, emotions, thoughts. So through the body and sense organs, we perceive objects. Add sense organs also here. Huh? Through body you cannot perceive object. Body and sense organs, we perceive objects. Through mind, we start feeling emotions. Through intellect, we think thoughts. Now let us look at all these things and see which all will fall under Adhyatma. How about Om? First question only. Atma is a substratum. Adhyatma means something is added on top of that substratum. Adhyatma is not pure consciousness. Adhyatma is conditioned consciousness. Primarily, everything is consciousness only. Then you don't even have to use words. The very reason you are using words means you are pointing out some conditioning along with consciousness. Okay, so vasanas, will it be called as Adhyatma? Yes, because I have I notion in vasanas. What we otherwise call as samskara. Whenever it rises, we are able to recognize this is my samskara. Vasanas are not visible to us. They are unmanifest. But it's a blueprint. Which thought has to rise, vasanas will decide. Body, Adhyatma. Mind, Adhyatma. Intellect, Adhyatma. Perceiver, feeler, thinker, you can put all sense organs here. That's how we perceive. Feeler, thinker is mind, intellect, but perceiver particularly is sense organs. Adhyatma or no? Adhyatma. Objects? No. Why? Because we don't have I notion in objects. So wherever I have I notion, that is Adhyatma. Now if this word is clear, what will be the meaning of Adhyatmic sadhana? In Adhyatmic sadhana, what all things I have to focus? All these things. Not only consciousness. I have to know how to maintain healthy body. That's why 6th chapter Bhagavan gives the advice, Yukta hara viharasya, Yukta cheshtasya karmasu, Yukta swapnava bodhasya, yogo bhavati dukkhaha. I should know how much to eat, how much, when not to eat, when to eat, how much to eat. I should know how to moderate my sleep, how to moderate my activities. That is also part of Adhyatmic sadhana. I should know how to beautify my mind and also appreciate how one thought leads to another thought. Have you noticed this? There is a momentum in thoughts. If you are entertaining good thoughts about somebody, that momentum gets strengthened. Today we will see in Viveka Chudamani class, Shamaha. Shamaha means controlling the mind. The more we are able to do it at beginning stages, easier it becomes in later stages. Because one thought is related to another thought. Just like good thoughts are related, thought of anger is also connected to another thought. If anger comes down at physical body level, that means it has spent lot of time at mind level. That one thought led to another, that got strengthened. So whatever is happening inside, I have to become aware. That is Adhyatmic sadhana at mind level. What is sadhana at intellect level? Clarity. What was spoken about as Sattvika Buddhi. 18th chapter we saw. What is pravrutti, what is nivrutti. Where I should get engaged, where I should not get engaged. How I should get engaged. Where I should see fear, where I should be fearless. To the extent person is sattvic, to that extent, Adhyatmic sadhana at intellect level becomes clear. Because clarity itself is sadhana of intellect. Exalted expression of intellect is Atma Anatma Viveka. Atma Anatma Viveka means real and unreal, being able to discern between both. That is also Adhyatmic sadhana. Now, with regards to sense organs, what is Adhyatmic sadhana? Shama and Dhamma. Particularly Dhamma, because Dhamma is at sense organ level, Shama is at mind level. What kind of things I should be perceiving in this world and how my response should be towards this world. Sometimes the topic of organs of perception, organs of action looks to be a very theoretical topic. Moment it is asked, what are the organs of perception? Eyes, ears, nose, tongue, taste, and skin. So that is good, but we have to think about what is sadhana for each sense organ. Bhadram karne vishrunuyama devaha, Bhadram pashyema Akshabhi yajatra. May I hear good things, may I see good things. Natu vrutha vakyam samucharyatam. That speech which is not meaningful need not be spoken. Sadhana Panchakam. That is Adhyatmic sadhana at sense organ level. All these things, how they are emerging from my vasanas. If I pay attention to my thoughts, I will know what kind of vasanas are hidden. And according to that, I have to start changing my thought patterns. All these things together is included in the word Adhyatma. Swabhavaha Adhyatma Uchyate. What is the meaning of Swabhava? Wherever there is bhava of Swa, that is called as Swabhava. And it happens to be only in this assemblage. Anything outside, I call it as Mama, mine. But here, predominance is of I. Then, next definition is something mesmerizing. First time when I heard this, you will never find such a unique definition of karma. What was Arjuna's third question? What is karma? You know what Bhagavan says? Bhuta bhava udbhava karaha. That which brings about manifestation of all beings. That is karma. Now this we have heard before, right? That which brings about manifestation of all beings. Naturally, if you want to manifest something, you have to do something. If I only think of making paratha, I might think, Swarga Loka, it will come. Manushya Loka, I have to think and I have to do. Sankalpa and karma. This we understand. But look at the next word. Visargaha karma sanyitaha. Visarga means sacrifice. Visarga means expenditure. Visarga means to give. He says, unless we give something, no action is possible. Think about it. Let's say I want to buy a home. I might have so many things. What is the bottom line? I will have to spend. That is Visarga. Let's say I want to do some Bhagavad Katha. Sankalpa is good. I have a lot of Shubha Samskara. Planned also sufficiently. What is needed after that? Willingness to spend. Meaning what? Karma is not possible without spending. Now what is the choice left with us? With what mindset do we spend? Do we spend out of yoga buddhi or bhoga buddhi? Bhagavad Katha example. Am I spending with this mindset that this is a noble act? It will bring goodness to me and my family and to people whomever I am inviting. Now with that mindset, whatever expenditure is there, that will become yajna, that will become auspicious. And without that expenditure, without that sacrifice, nothing can be manifested. It will just remain as a thought. Bhuta bhavodbhavakaraha visargaha karma sanyitaha. Visarjana also means sacrifice. I will have to sacrifice my time, sacrifice my energy, sacrifice resources. You know, that's why in 18th chapter, when we saw Sattvic karma and tamasic karma. Go back to those verses and see. Tamasic person is somebody who doesn't think about what I should start and what I should not start. He will not look at how much expenditure is there, whether I am able to accomplish it or not, whether it is my goal or not. Blindly he will start things because somebody else is doing it. Bhagavan said that is tamasic karma. Sattvic karma he does out of duty. If you all have your Bhagavad Geeta book, let's flip the pages. I'll tell you. I'll be happy if you tell me the verse number before me. Which one? 23. Very good. Sattvic karma. See what is sattvic karma. Niyatam sangarahitam. That karma which is bound on duty. Does it without attachment. Aragat dveshata krutam. Without strong likes and dislikes, he does it. Aphala prepsuna karma. Doesn't have any expectation of getting something in return. That karma is sattvic karma. More beautiful is tamasic karma. Anubandham kshayam himsam anavekshacha paurusham. Anubandham means he doesn't think whether it is relevant to me or not. Somebody did it, I also should do it. Kshayam doesn't look at how much resources will be burnt. Himsam doesn't think about what harm it will cause to others. We had seen examples of river pollution, other things. And anavekshacha paurusham doesn't think about whether I have that ability to do it or not, to take it to the end. How does he start? If somebody is not thinking about relevance, consequence, resources being burnt, what is he thinking before starting? Mohat arabhyate. Very well deluded, he is starting things, not knowing where it is going. Mohat arabhyate karma yattat tamasam uchyate. That same karma, see how Bhagavan defines here. Bhuta bhavod bhavakaraha visargaha karma sanyitaha. That which brings about manifestation outside, but requires sacrifice. What things I should be willing to sacrifice, that is my intelligence. That is my choice. That is why the difference comes between sattvic and tamasic karma. Tamasic person also has to sacrifice, but he has all those four things attached to it. Anubandham kshayam himsam anapekshacha paurusham. Anavekshacha paurusham. Good. More you can think on your own. Huh? This particular definition, whatever we have done in life, whatever we want to do in life, any program, any event, any major project, that is a karma. What does it need? Sacrifice. My question should be, is it worthy? That is karma. Remaining, how many questions is answered? 3 questions, right? 3 more will be answered in this verse. Adhibhutam ksharo bhavaha purushashchadhidaivatam adhiyajnohamevatra dehe dehabhrutam vara adhibhutam ksharo bhavaha purushashchadhidaivatam adhiyajnohamevatra dehe dehabhrutam vara. There is one more point on the previous karma. If we want happiness in life, how does it come? Through punya karma. This equation should be very, very thorough. Happiness doesn't come through an object. It comes when punya karma is there. How does punya karma come? By doing satkarma, good actions. Good action, punya karma, sukham. What is needed to do satkarma? Look at this verse. What is needed to do any karma? Some kind of sacrifice, some kind of expenditure. So if a person feels, I will never spend anything, will never spend time, never spend energy, never spend wealth, what will he not get? Satkarma. Because that is the currency for karma. No satkarma, less punya. Less punya, less sukham. That's why there is so much of importance given to all these facets in our religion. Tana, mana, dhana. All three dhanam is praised. Because that is the prerequisite for satkarma. Adhibhutam. What is adhibhutam? Shankaracharya says, Adhibhutam pranijatam adhikrutya bhavati iti. Whatever is present as beings, that consciousness which is appearing through the bodies of all beings, that is called as adhibhuta. Pranijatam adhikrutya means all beings taking their support, what is expressing, that is called as adhibhuta. All inert things are not called as adhibhuta over here. Huh? What is called as adhibhuta? What is related to all sentient beings. Prani jatam adhikrutya. Yad bhavati. In other words, whatever is going to perish is adhibhuta. Whatever is going to perish is adhibhuta. Now, did you notice something here? Where did we count body? Adhyatma, did we count it? We did, because I notion is here. Now, if you say adhibhuta is that which perishes, will you have to include body or not? So you are double counting it. So how do we understand it? Adhyatma is wherever there is I notion. Predominance of I notion, it becomes Adhyatma. Predominance of conditioning, it is called as Adhibhuta. In Adhibhuta, we don't emphasize too much on I notion. Whatever conditionings are there of jivas, that is called as Adhibhuta, which will perish one day. What is Adhyatma? Fourth question. Purushaha cha, Adidaiva. Fourth question is, what is Adidaiva? Purushascha Adidaivatam. That Purusha who is appearing in this entire creation, including this body, is called as Adidaiva. Consciousness pervading creation, or in other words, one who has I notion in this whole universe. That supreme jiva is called Adidaiva. Just like we have I notion in this body, think about somebody who has I notion in this whole universe. That is whom we call as Brahmaji. That is whom we call as Hiranyagarbha. What is the address of Hiranyagarbha? Sun. Sun God is the manifest form of Hiranyagarbha. That is why Gayatri Mantra, who is the Devata worshipped? Savita Devata. What is Gayatri Mantra worshipping? Hiranyagarbha. Tat savituhu varenyam bhargo devasya dhimahi. Savituhu means that Hiranyagarbha which is the most exalted expression of Bhagavan. Dhiyo yonaha prachodayat. May little bit come in this limited intellect also from that gold mine. Literal meaning of Hiranyagarbha is gold mine. Huh? Hiranya means gold, Garbha means mine. So anything that I am seeking in life, it might be knowledge, it might be wealth, it might be name and fame, whatever I am seeking, all of that, the abode of that, source of that is Hiranyagarbha. And how does Hiranyagarbha feel? Just like we have eye notion in this body, Hiranyagarbha has eye notion in entire universe. You can think more about this. If whole body I have eye notion, any part of the body I want to move is up to me. I can wiggle my toes, I can wiggle my thumb. Meaning for Hiranyagarbha, this entire creation is in its palm. Any result we need from any aspect of creation can be given by Hiranyagarbha. That is the beauty of it. And we don't need to always seek material things. Like name and fame, some object, that also one can get. But if somebody is seeking love for God, somebody is seeking vairagya, somebody is seeking peace, where will we get it from? Same source, Hiranyagarbha. This name should not confuse us, it should give clarity. There is no difference between Hiranyagarbha and God. Bhagavan's mind only is Hiranyagarbha. Okay, Ishvara, Hiranyagarbha and Virat. Bhagavan's body is Virat, Bhagavan's mind is Hiranyagarbha. In his essential form, he is unmanifest. Okay, so that is Adhidaiva. In traditional Upanishads, you will find when creation process is described, it is said first Bhagavan made all these names and forms. But after he made everything, there was no charm to it. Something was missing. Then what did he do? He entered all names and forms, which we call as Pravesha Shruti. He entered Jivas, he entered all different names and forms, and that is when they became enlivened. So even in an inert object, what should be our bhavana? That this is an expression of God. And more a person is able to feel God's presence outside the temple. Inside, definitely one should feel, but also feel it outside. To that extent, he'll be saved from committing some mistake. One commentator, he writes, when he was on the banks of Gangaji 30 years ago, he says, if you forgot your money bag on the banks of Gangaji and you came back after 3 days, you will still find it there. Because he says the bhavana was, if anybody steals anything on the banks of Gangaji, they will go to hell. Naraka. And that is not to say you can steal away from Gangaji, okay? The point he was saying is, see what bhavana does to us. The moment a person has this bhavana, whether others watch or not, Bhagavan is watching. To that extent, he is saved from committing a mistake. On the currency note also it is written, right? In God we trust. There is a nice story also behind it, why they have written it. Same bhavana it is. That in all our dealings, may we have values. You know what was the previous statement? Out of many, one. On the note, the statement before in God we trust was out of many, one. I was very surprised how different people have thought about the truth. What are we discussing? Adhidaiva. Presence of Bhagavan in this creation, one who pervades this creation, is Adhidaiva. Then comes Adhiyajna. Bhagavan says, Adhiyajna is me, myself. Adhiyajnaha aham eva atra. And I alone express in this body also. Atra dehe adhiyajnaha aham eva. So from totality standpoint, consciousness is called Adhidaiva, Hiranyagarbha. From individual standpoint, that same consciousness is called Adhiyajna. That's a simpler way to understand. Another name of Bhagavan is Yajna. Yajno vai Vishnu. Bhagavan's another name is Yajna. The applied meaning of that is wherever there is a spirit of sacrifice, sinking of individual opinions for greater good, Bhagavan says, I live there. Tasmat sarvagatam brahma nityam yajne pratishthitam. Although I am all pervading, if you want to see my grace, see it wherever yajna is happening. Gurudev's interpretation of that word yajna, I don't think you can find a more practical meaning than that. How does he define it? Third chapter. Group of people coming together by sinking individual differences for a greater good. What does that lead to? Productive potential. That is the rain cloud which is coming. And the rain itself is enjoyable profit in the form of the crops. So that family or that team where people have this mindset of working with each other, they will have this enjoyable profit. All this is part of the bigger goal. Seventh question is not exclusive of the first six. What did Bhagavan say? One who has understood all these six things and meditates upon me. So Adhiyajna means that. He says, I am the enlivener in this individual body, that is me. So one thing to note is, same Brahman is being called by different names. Okay? Adhyatma, Adhibhuta, Adhiyajna, Adhidaiva. Whose names are these? How many people are these? It is that same truth with regards to different conditionings is given different names. One person is called father by his son, called son by his father, called husband by his wife, but person is only one. Like that, one Brahman is called by different names. Having answered these 6 questions, Bhagavan comes to the main question that he wants to answer. He's in such a hurry, one word only he answers. 7th question, elaborately. See the 5th verse. Anta kale cha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram Yaf prayati samadbhavam yati nastyatra samshayah antakale cha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram yaf prayati samadbhavam yati nastyatra samshayah. Antakale cha. Every word is important. Huh? Meaning what? Even at the time of death. Not only at the time of death. Whole life he has remembered Bhagavan, and even at the time of death. Antakale cha mam eva smaran. Anyone who departs, gives up this body, thinking about me. Is this statement correct? Bhagavan says not fully correct. Look at the verse again. Mam eva. One who departs thinking about me alone. Yaha prayati samadbhavam. He attains my state. Yati na asti atra samshayah. There is no doubt about this. His uddhara happens. One need not have any doubts about this. So, how many things are mentioned here? One point is antakale cha. Cha means what? Also at the time of death. Meaning one should not think there is lot of time. Now let me think about other things. When that time comes, I will think about God. Next verse is going to say, whatever we repeat, same thing we think. If we have not repeated God's name during our life, it is very difficult to remember it at the last moment. The moment you say this, people quote example of Ajamila. You know, these examples are very funny. Any exception we find, we take that as the norm. Ajamil took his son's name, Narayana, casually. He got liberation. And who is our ideal now? Ajamil. So many other devotees are there. That is one thing. Whatever we repeat, whatever we have repeated, that alone we remember. This smriti is a very beautiful word. Just think about it. Whom do we remember? Even person, let us say. First of all, I should have known him. Unknown person, do we remember? You don't even think. Having known him, I should have spent time with him. If I have so many acquaintances, I don't remember all of them. I should have known him. I should have spent time with him. Having spent time, I should have experienced joy. If I spent time and every time I met that person, I was more agitated, I might remember for wrong reasons. But that person who has given me joy, that person we remember more. Apply the same things to God. First I have to know Bhagavan. I have to spend time with Bhagavan. Okay, another thing. How will I receive joy? Only when I have given joy. No matter which person that is, I cannot demand joy from him. Come make me happy. I might have that expectation, but I cannot demand. The more I give joy, to that extent I will receive joy. What should I do to receive joy from God? Live my life in such a way that Bhagavan is pleased with me. entertain those thoughts, say those words, which Bhagavan will be proud of me. And how do I know whether with my particular action, my particular thought, my particular speech, Bhagavan is happy? I should look at my mind after I have done that action. If there is guilt and agitation, it is his unhappiness. If it is joy within, that is his, Sanskritam there is a beautiful word, anumodanam. Anumodanam means a gentle nod. He doesn't speak much, Bhagavan. Gentle nod in the form of joy, that is a sign that he is happy. Ramcharitmanas is filled with injunctions, filled with, not injunctions in that way, but pointers of what makes God happy. Mohi kapata chala chidrana bhava. Bhagavan says, I don't like deceit. Limitations are okay. He says, person should come to me as he is. Kapata means that. Pretentiousness. Chala means deceit. Three things will help in smriti. Because smriti cannot be forced also. I have to spend time, I have to know, spend time, and receive love from that altar. But in receiving love, I need to give first. And what does it mean to love God? Remember, we saw those 6 steps of Sharanagati. What was the first one? Anukulyasya sankalpaha. Living my life in such a way that Bhagavan is happy with me. Second was Pratikulyasya varjanam. Whatever doesn't make God happy, that this person strives to remove. And other things were also there. But this is one of the main reasons of smriti. At the time of death, one who remembers me. Is the sentence complete? Me alone. See, eva word is used generally to exclude other things. Eva means alone or only. Okay? If let's say there are 10 items kept here, and I tell you, take what you want. Now you will take whatever you want. But if I say, take one alone, what does it mean? Don't take other 9. Even when they send some invitation sometimes, if they want to send it just to a specific group, how do they write it? Wedding invitation or something, We love all children, but this event is adult alone. Somebody was telling me recently, all children are dear to us, but this ceremony is adults alone. Now what does that word alone mean? Others are excluded. In the same way, mam eva means what? World should be excluded. That's why Bhagavan is using this word, mam eva. Okay. Now for this word smriti, there are some beautiful metaphors in Srimad Bhagavatam. We'll see in the next session. Okay. Vritrasura stuti. Any stuti you take. Bottom line is this only. How can we turn mind towards the Lord? Exclusively. Okay. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Today if you can have your